Hi everyone, my name is Michaela and today I'll be going over population parameters versus sample statistics. In this brief video, I'll give an overview of some definitions, some of the symbols that are used to represent population parameters and sample statistics, a sport psychology example, and then 4 practice questions to make sure we got it down pat. So first, a population is the entire group that you are taking for analysis or prediction, while a sample is a subset of individuals who will be tested as a representation of the population. A parameter is a number that describes a whole population. And then lastly, a statistic is a number that describes a sample. So for some of the symbols that are used for sample statistics and population parameters, first, we have mean. For a sample statistic, you would use X bar as your symbol, versus for a population parameter, you would use mu. For standard deviation, sample statistic would be using an S, while population parameter would be sigma. Variance, you would use S squared to represent sample statistic, while for population parameter, you would use sigma squared. For proportion, you would use p hat for sample statistic, and for population parameter, you would use p. And then lastly, for your sample statistic, you would use a lowercase n for your sample size, and then for your population parameter, you would use a uppercase N. Moving on to our sports psychology example, say for your research question, you are looking to see what is the rate of burnout in NCAA athletes. Well, the NCAA has about 500,000 athletes, so it would be pretty difficult to get every single athlete to take your survey. But say that you're able to go out there and get 250 athletes to take your survey, and out of your sample, you find that 20% of athletes experience burnout. So this would be a sample statistic, meaning that out of the population of all NCAA athletes, your sample of 250, 20% of them are experiencing burnout. On the other hand, if you were able to get a true burnout of all NCAA athletes, this would be a population parameter. Down in the corner, I have an image that helps illustrate how when you have a sample, you're polling randomized participants from the population. So lastly, we have some practice questions. And if I'm going a little too fast for you, feel free to pause the video and answer them at your own speed. So first, we have the average age of all college athletes is 20.9. Now, this would be a population parameter because you were able to get the age of all college athletes. Next, the average score of perfectionism for 50 gymnasts in Florida. Now, this would be a sample statistic because you were able to get 50 athletes out of all the 50 gymnasts out of all the gymnasts in Florida. Next, you have the average score of self-efficacy and 35 runners on a team of 100. Again, this would be a sample statistic, being as you were able to get the score out of 35 runners, but not the entire team of 100. And then lastly, the average score on a coach-athlete relationship questionnaire for all players on a football team. Now, this would be a population parameter because you were able to obtain the scores from all the players on a football team for the coach-athlete relationship questionnaire. Thank you so much for listening.